It would be easier for me to found my company in US in Silicon Valley, for example, and get money for the first. But really for the long-term success to win, I do believe the only way is actually founding a company here in Metzingen.
You've probably never heard of Neura Robotics. It used to be known as Hans Robot Germany. That's when it was partnered with a Chinese firm here in Shenzhen. But now it's headquartered here in the southern German town of Metzingen, which you've also probably never heard of. David Reger is CEO and founder. He showed me how one of its products works.
Hey, Myra.
Hi, what can I do for you?
David Reger, CEO and founder of Neura Robotics. Thank you for joining me. You have said that you are focusing here on Germany. You are moving production from China here to Germany at a time when there are, frankly, fewer industrial orders in Germany right now. There are higher energy prices. There is an ongoing problem, which many companies complain about, with bureaucracy. Why choose this region instead of China, where everything seems to be much more to your advantage in terms of production costs?
It was actually also the first thought. When I started Neura, I had actually the plan to produce everything in China as Apple does it, or any other companies are. So the idea was actually inventing here the cool stuff and then actually having a production partner and scaling partner somewhere in other countries in Asia, for example. And but today the time simply changed, or like if you look, the borders are growing, so it's not that we have more and more barriers of really, let's say, be as I'm missing right now the word, like as international as possible in the field of production, I'm talking. So, and the other thing I need to correct, because we are not focused on Germany at all. We always focus on the world, because the task we solve is actually, let's say, we're solving issues for the whole world. But the production we move back to Germany because of certain reasons, like all the core technologies are anyways made here, because there is some thoughts in different ways, like IPs, protection and stuff like that. And we did not see also the big economical, let's say, impact, because they also have a margin on to produce the products and everything else. And you're not, let's say, in my opinion, you're not fast enough to adapt to changes or to adapt to partner needs. And that was needed, in my opinion. That's why we moved also back here, close to the headquarters, everything.
Okay, so you're saying production costs, the savings aren't so significant there as you may have thought. But also, you touched on this, is it fair to say this is somewhat about controlling IP? Our viewers know, of course, that in China, technology transfer, a big concern for many Western companies. You have to have a partner oftentimes to go in. What can you tell us about that?
I do not think that China is just looking for IPs from other countries. It's mainly, I think even IP protection inside of China is always difficult. So I had those situations of my partners. I'm trusting my partners in China, for example, which I really still have a good relationship with. The thing, like the overall structure inside of China was not prepared for that. Even they say they will take more now, let's say, a focus on the IP protection and everything. I did not really feel it. And you can just open next to the street the next company, and they're doing exactly the same, because they quit their job and just open a new company, and you can mostly not even do anything about it. So it was kind of difficult there. So and that's why in Germany I think it's just more structured. It's very clear, like who the IPs are belonging to. In the same time, also it's more protected.
Neura is aiming for $50 million in sales this year to an international customer base. It sees strong potential in the European market, and it believes the industry itself is now ready to grow in Europe after years of neglect.
And that's why I thought the cooperation in the beginning, when I started Neura, with China was very important for us, because they had less barriers and the willingness, like, to really adapt in the robotics field and really use robots for something. While the barrier in Germany is very difficult, because people are first doubting it. It has to be first good enough and whatever. It's a completely different mindset. And but we see actually the pressure we have today in Germany of, yes, hey, we are losing somehow market size everywhere. We need to adapt faster, and you see the pressure is good for us.
You believe that plays to your advantage now, that Germany is in this catch-up mode?
Yes, it is. And you feel actually that even the companies are more open for innovation, more open for really like new technologies, which is not a typical German thing.
So you pulled production out of China, yet you're going to compete with China more and more in this area. Is that not a concern for you?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think the competition is always good for the market, or like, and I'm not really the person which is fearing, and I think everyone knows me that way. That's also what I believe, that today we will get more pressure on that, and like, because our country is in this situation, and we just need to run faster and find new ways where we are good or even better than them in different and we are in many ways, and that's the interesting part.
One criticism of the European startup ecosystem is that getting money, especially late-stage funding, has been difficult. Neura Robotics now has investors out of Europe and America, but Reger said it hasn't been easy.
Super difficult. It is actually. I complained a lot about this, but in the same time, I actually realized that the solution is actually coming in a natural way. So if we are performing better than others, the money will come here. And this is the way of, I just heard recently, hey, we should actually change our mindset in an investor world. I said, no, we should change our mindset in the world of startups, because we cannot rely on, let's say, 35-hour week or 40-hour week and say, hey, that's how it is, and that's our rules in Germany, and that's how whatever. And you're still expecting that in a country where startups are really working day and night and doing much more than we do, in this time, and really bring all their lives in. I think it's a different mindset. It's a different way of how we do things, and we should adapt to that.
It's interesting because talking to some other startup founders, they acknowledge they may have to go where the money is. We know that some, for example, will go to the US because that's where not just the money, but also these kind of hubs, these kind of collaborative environments are. You're confident that it will come here?
Yes. I'm confident it will come here, and I do see, yes, it is easier. It would be easier for me to found my company in US and Silicon Valley, for example, and get money for the first. But really, for the long-term success to win, I do believe the only way is actually founding the company here in Metzingen.
Neura is also opening an engineering and research hub in Munich. The southern German city has become something of a hub for Germany's tech startups.
What's the biggest hurdle you face right now in Germany? You said this is a German problem, that if this thing were solved, it could make things easier.
In my opinion, mindset, the only. I don't think anything else, because everything, if you would ask me 2 years before or 3 years before, I would have a huge list of things which I would point it out. Today I see this list. It was mainly also dependency on me, myself, and my team on what we are doing. But today I do see the biggest issue we have is the mindset and we don't have a vision. So our country has zero vision. And this is actually also why we are in this situation where we are right now. And this is a horrible situation. So the people always talk there is some good things and hey guys, it's not that bad. I said it's the worst situation we can be as a country, but it's maybe helpful to finally start listening to, let's say, some also younger generations which are just coming up and having some new ideas. But yes, the mindset and the country has no vision. We have no lead.
Conversely, I have to ask, what's the biggest advantage that Germany has?
The biggest advantage is actually the infrastructures we have. Our education, which people are now having a lot of critics on. I say there is almost no better education in many fields, and we do have some strength which others don't have. And you can also ask, for example, some Chinese companies, or you can ask also some American companies, what is the strength of Germany, and they will tell very precisely how good we are and where we are not replaceable. And this is also the part where we should just take more care on.
David Reger, founder and CEO of Neura Robotics, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.